front porch prodigal. I never even left the county line, just left myself in a bottle, one drink at a time. But Daddy kept the porch light on, and Grace was waiting the whole time. Some prodigals run off to the city, blow it all on the coast. I did my wandering in a trailer about a mile from the folks. Never left the county, but I left the boy they raised. Traded him for a stranger in a decade-long haze. My daddy couldn't see my place from his own front porch, and every night he'd sit out there and hold a little torch. Not a real one, a porch light, 60 watts of hope. Left it burning every night while I was learning how to cope with a life I was avoiding through the bottom of a can. Half a mile from the man who'd have given me his hand. And that's the cruelest kind of loss, the near kind, the close where home's within your eye line, but you're farther than you suppose. Cause the distance wasn't miles, it was shame, it was pride. It was knowing he could see me and not wanting to be seen inside the wreck that I become. So I drive the long way home, avoid the street entirely, keep my ruin on my own. But Luke 15:20, while the sun was far away, the Father saw him coming. That word saw is what would stay with me, cause you can't see somebody coming unless you're watching. And my daddy had been watching from that porch, unwatched, unbothered by the years, by the distance, by the sun who wouldn't call. Just watching that dark road, ready to run in case it all. This boy came up it, and one night, drunk and done and low, I finally turned down the street and saw that porch light glow. Front porch prodigal, I never even left the county line, just left myself in a bottle, one drink at a time. But Daddy kept the porch light on, and Grace was waiting the whole time. I don't even remember deciding to turn down this road that night. Just remember being tired, bone tired, done with the fight. And my truck kinda steered itself past the mailbox up the drive. And before I got the door open, he was already outside. 60-something years old in his robe in the cold, coming down them porch steps faster than a man that should go. And I braced for the lecture, for the where you been, the shame. But he just grabbed me, helped me, kept saying my name over and over, like he was checking I was real, like he rehearsed this moment for years and couldn't feel it was finally happening. And I broke down in his arms, a grown man weeping on the lawn, setting off no alarms. Cause this is what he'd waited for, this is why the light stayed on. Not to shame me when I came, but to guide me from the dawn of my leaving till the day I turned back up that road. And he'd be there wide awake to help me set down the load. I asked him, Daddy, how'd you know I'd ever even come? He said, I didn't, son, that ain't why I kept the light on, I kept it on. So if you ever did, you know which house was home. You never have to wander, never have to feel alone in the dark trying to find it, and that broke me all the way. I love the lights the road for years, for a son who might not stray back. That's the father in the parable, that's the gospel of the porch. A God who keeps on watching down the road, holding out the torch. Front porch prodigal, I finally came back up the drive. The porch light led me home again, and love kept it alive. Daddy never gave up watching. Now this prodigal's alive. Sitting on the porch. 2 men came to that jail for me, only one came for free. The Baptist and the bail bondsman both showed up that night. One wanted the money I owed, one paid a debt I couldn't fight. County locker Friday night, they let me have my call. Made it to a bail bondsman off a business card on the wall. 1,500 that I didn't have to walk out for the arraignment. Man said collateral, a cosigner, started naming the containment of my options. All of them bad, all of them a deeper hole. Sign your truck, sign your chick, sign a piece of your soul. And I'm sitting there doing the math on the freedom I can't finance. When the guard says you got another visitor, took a second glance, cause I wasn't expecting nobody. Wasn't nobody left to call. Burned every bridge I ever had, torched them one and all in them walls. Brother Combs, old Baptist preacher from my youth, 75 if he's a day, come to tell me the truth. Didn't know how he even heard, didn't know how he knew that the boy who used to sit in his pews was in the county zoo. And he didn't bring a lecture, didn't bring a Bible thump. He brought his checkbook and a look that made my whole throat lump. He paid it himself. He paid my bail, the whole 1,500 cash that night. No collateral, no cosign, no lien, no fight. I said, brother Combs, I can pay this back, you know what I am. He said, son, that's the whole point, you can't, that's the program. Romans 5 verse 8, while we were still in our sin, not after we cleaned up, while we were still in the pen. Christ died for us, paid the debt we couldn't cover. I'm just doing for you what my Savior did, no other reason. No strings, no interest, no note to sign. Grace ain't bail bond, son, it's a gift, it's divine. And I walked out of that jail on the debt of a different kind. Not one you pay with money, one that changes your mind. The Baptist and the bail bondsman both showed up that night. One wanted the money I owe, one paid a debt I couldn't fight. The bondsman needed collateral, but the preacher paid it free. The Baptist and the bail bondsman, and Grace walked out with me. That's the whole point. That's grace. Cornbread and communion, same table, same grace. Granny Sunday dinner was my first holy place, where the broke and the sinful got fed. Granny's table Sunday afternoon was a sacrament in disguise. Cast iron skillet, cornbread, and the love behind her eyes. She feed the whole community, the addicts and the acres, the outer work, the down and out, the sinners and the takers. Never asked you what you did or where you been on Saturday night. Just said sit down, fix a plate, there's plenty, it's alright. And there was something in that table, in the passing of the beans, the way the greens got shared around, the way it intervened. In a hard week, in a hard life, and a heart gone cold and mean. The most consistent grace I knew before I knew what grace could mean. Acts 2:46, they broke bread from house to house with glad and sincere hearts. And Granny lived that out, not in a sanctuary, in a double wide with a screen door, feeding everybody's belly and their soul a little more. I didn't know it then, too busy filling up my plate, that a table was a pulpit and a cornbread consecrate.
Cornbread and communion,
Same table, same grace.
Granny Sunday dinner
Was my first holy place, where the broke and the sinful got fed, where the hungry all got full. Cornbread and communion, grace I could taste and hold. Years later I was strung out, hadn't been around in months. Showed up at Granny Sunday uninvited on a hunch that she wouldn't turn me away. And Lord, she didn't flinch, just said sit down baby, fix a plate and move me up an inch on the crowded bench. Like I never left, like I wasn't a disgrace, like the whole community couldn't see the ruin on my face. And she passed me the cornbread first, the corner piece, the best, the crispiest and butter part. She saved for honor guests, and something in that gesture, in the cornbread and the love, cracked her heart. I thought was Granny sent a signal from above it. Maybe I was still worth saving, still worth the corner piece, still welcome at the table, even covered in my disease. And I wept into my collard greens, couldn't even eat, and Granny just kept serving, kept the whole thing discreet. Later at the sink, she told me God's table's just like mine. There's always room, always a plate, and the door's open all the time.
Cornbread and Communion.
Same table, same grace.
Granny Sunday dinner
Was my first holy place, where the broke and the sinful got fed, where the hungry all got full. Cornbread and communion, grace I could taste and hold. Granny's gone to glory now. The table's in my house, same cast iron skillet, same recipe, and I've turned it out into the same kind of ministry she ran for 50 years. I feed the addicts and the acres, the down and out, the tears. Every Sunday, open door, sit down, baby, fix a plate, and I serve the cornbread to whoever needs the way of grace made edible to love. You can taste and swallow, cause some folks can't hear a sermon, but they'll follow a plate of food to a table when nobody keeps a score. And once they've tasted kindness, they come back and taste some more. And that's where I preach the gospel now, not with a Bible thump, but with butter, beans, and cornbread and a grace to clear the slump of a hard week, of a hard life, the way my granny taught. Communion ain't just crackers in a sanctuary, but it's cornbread in a kitchen where the sinful all get fed. That's the table where I met him in the breaking of the bread.
Cornbread and Communion.
Same table, same grace.
Granny Sunday dinner
Became my holy place. Now I feed the broke and sinful like she fed me when I fell. Cornbread and communion, and the grace I'm here to tell.
Sit down, baby. Fix a plate, there's always room. Sit down, baby. Fix a plate, there's always room.
I was riding the interstate to nowhere, every mile marker line about somewhere. Thought the running was the answer to the pain, but the road just circled back to the same. A way to sing right, but it ended in death. Driving hard and getting nowhere, wasting breath. The interstate to nowhere in the dark, till the exit ramp of grace lit a spark. 2 a.m. doing 90 on the 40, headed east. Not cause I had somewhere to be, just running from the beast that lived inside my rear view, that I couldn't seem to lose. Put 1,000 miles a week on tires, singing the same blues. Thought if I kept on moving that the emptiness would fade. At the next town, the next exit held the peace I hadn't made. But Proverbs 14:12, there's a way that seems so right to a man, but its ending is the death he tries to fight. And I was living that verse literal on the asphalt every night, chasing taillights toward a nothing, chasing morning toward the light that never came. Cause you can't outrun what's riding shotgun. The interstate to nowhere's got no exit, and no wonder why I stayed exhausted, stayed depleted, stayed alone. Every rest stop just a mirror showing how far I'd flown from the man I meant to be, from the home I left behind. The interstate to nowhere is a prison you can't find her. I was riding the interstate to nowhere, every mile marker lying about somewhere. Thought the running was the answer to the pain, but the road just circled back to the same. A way to sing right, but it ended in death. Driving hard and getting nowhere, wasting breath. The interstate to nowhere in the dark, till the exit ramp of grace lit a spark. No way. Can't outrun your shadow. No way. Can't escape the hollow. No way. Put down the map. No way. Let him close the gap. Exit the interstate, take the off-ramp home. Quit the run and quit the wrong. The way to sing right leads to the grave. Take the exit that he gave. The night of change, I ran out of gas on the shoulder in the rain, no cash, no charge left on my phone. Just me and the pain, and the running finally stopped, cause the car finally quit. And in the stranded silence, I could hear the spirit spit the truth. I've been out running at 85 per hour. You cannot drive the peace, so you cannot find the power. power to fix itself in motion. Then nowhere is inside, and every road you take will lead right back to where you hide. And I broke down on this shoulder as it's blinking in the dark. Prayed the first repairing years, and it lit that promise spark. Said, God, I've been driving from you my whole life at full speed. Take the wheel, take the map, take the road, I'll follow where you lead. And the trucker stopped to help me, gave me gas and gave me fare. Said, son, you look like you've been running like an angel unaware. And I drove home, actually home for the first time in years. Off the interstate and nowhere, through the rain, through the tears. I was riding the interstate to nowhere. Every mile mark a line about somewhere. Thought the running was the answer to the pain. But the road just circled back to the same. A way to seem right, but it ain't death. Driving hard and getting nowhere, wasting breath. The interstate nowhere in the dark. Took the exit, ramp of grace, found my heart. I was riding the interstate. Down in the cellar, with the storm overhead, that's where I finally prayed. Storm comes, the sirens went off by supper time. That flat electric wail, sky turned the color of a bruised green, black and pale. Daddy hollered Cellar now, and we all went underground into that concrete hole in the earth where the canned goods were found. Me, my folks, my baby sister, and a battery lamp. Pulled the door down over us and the air went thick and damp, and we could hear it coming. That freight train roar they talk about, the tornado on the ground somewhere ripping the county out. And I hadn't spoke to God or my daddy in about 2 years. Home just long enough that night to gather up my gears and leave again the next morning. I was passing through a strange couch surfing between benders. Everything about me changed, and now I'm trapped in a hole in the ground with the family I've been dodging, while the wrath of God Almighty tore the roof off of our lodging. The cellar. And something happens in a storm cellar when the world's ending overhead. When the road gets right on top of you and you're sure that you'll be dead. All the stuff you carry, all the grudges, all the shame, all the reasons you weren't speaking, they don't seem to have a name. When the pressure drops and your ears pop and your baby sister cries, and your daddy, your hard daddy's got tears standing in his eyes, and he grabs your hand in the dark. First time in years he's touched you, and he starts to pray out loud. This man who I thought never blessed you, Lord, cover this family, spare these babies, spare this ground. And God, thank you that my boy's here, that he's home, that he's found. And I about came apart cause I wasn't found, I was just passing. But my daddy in that cellar was already thanking God and asking for the son he thought was lost to be covered by the same refuge that he prayed for. Psalm 46 became real to me in that hole. God is our refuge and our strength, and ever present help in trouble. In the trouble at that length was a mile wide wedge of wind, trying to erase us from the map. And we prayed like we all meant it, huddled in that earthen gap. The storm passed, we came up out of that cellar into a county tore to pieces. The barn's gone, trees down, the value of everything we own rearranged by the wind. But we were alive, all four, and something else had been restored down in that hole. Cause I couldn't leave the next morning, couldn't drive away from the daddy who thanked God without warning that his prodigal was home, now I'm 1-3 his way. is in the whirlwind, in the storm, and he met me that way. No one place I couldn't run, in the dark underground, where family that never prayed found out how prayer sounds. And I stayed, helped rebuild, stayed sober through the cleanup, stayed for the daddy who prayed for me when the whole world was tore up. Sometimes God can't get you still enough to hear him call your name, till he puts you in a cellar with a tornado and some shame. And he speaks in the whirlwind, in the refuge underground. Storm cellar prayers is where this prodigal got found. Storm cellar prayers, down in the dark with the wind overhead. It's where my daddy thanked God for me. It's where the old me finally died and knew was fair. God is our refuge, our ever-present help. Storm cellar prayers is where I found in myself. His ways in the storm, and he found me in the ground. Rehab Christmas, Rehab Christmas. Christmas morning, fluorescent lights, a treatment center hall, plastic tree in the common room, some tinsel on the wall. First Christmas in my 30 years, I wasn't with my kin. Court ordered 90 days and Christmas landed right within. And I sat there with my styrofoam cup of the week, decaf they served, feeling every mile between me and the family I don't deserve. Missing my kids opening presents, missing my mama's ham, sitting with 11 strangers, all as broken as I am. And I'll be honest, I was bitter, I was low, I was mad that I'd wrecked my life so thorough. I spent Christmas this sad in the place for the addicted, for the down, for the lost, counting up my ruined holidays and the terrible cost. But then old Miss Rita, 60 days clean off the pills, started humming Silent Night in the common room chill. And one by one we joined her, all is broken, all has been, singing carols in a rehab. And I finally knew what Christmas meant. The rehab Christmas, fluorescent and lonely, turned out to be the truest one yet. Cause the manger wasn't a palace only, it was a place for the broken and dead. No room at the inn for the Holy Family, just a feed trough and some hay. The rehab Christmas showed me the manger. Jesus was born in a place like where I lay. Cause here's what hit me, singing Silent Night with the broken crew. Isaiah 9:6, under us a child, and the child came through. Not to a palace, not to the put together and the fine, but Luke 2:7, no room at the inn, so the Prince Divine got born in a stable, in the mess, in the hay, in the dirt. Among the animals and the outcasts, among the poor and the hurt. And the rehab common room on Christmas is the closest thing to that original manger that I've ever seen. The King of Kings chose to enter the world in a place for the displaced, the addicted, innkeepers, rejects, the ones with no space. And singing those carols with Miss Rita, and the shaking and the sad, I felt closer to the actual Christmas than any I'd ever had. Cause I'd always done Christmas in the palace of the pretend, the perfect tree, the perfect lie, the family that fanned off the truth for one more year. But here among the rest was the only room the Prince of Peace would ever expect. Oh, the rehab Christmas, fluorescent and lonely, turned out to be the truest one yet. Cause the manger wasn't a palace only, it was a place for the broken and dead. No room at the inn for the Holy Family, just a feed trough and some hay. The rehab Christmas showed me the manger. Jesus was born in a place like where I lay. Prince of Peace in a place for the broken, that's the Christmas I finally understood. Born in a manger, found in a rehab, he shows up where the lonely stood. No, no. there was room in that common room for him. It's where I came alive. There's an old tobacco barn about 2 miles off the main. Gray wood leaning sideways, roof half caved from the rain. Used to be my granddad's, used to hang the leaf to cure. Now it's just a ruin where the county's lost and unsure. Come to do the things ashamed of, and I was chief of that crew. Spent 100 wasting nights in that barn. Me and the crew getting high in the rafters where the tobacco used to dry. Watching the sun set through the slats, watching my life go by. And it's fitting when I think about it that a curing barn's where I spent my dying years. Cause curing is a kind of slow goodbye. You hang the green leaf up to die so it can become the thing that's worth something. And I was hanging there not knowing what the dying was for. Just wasting in the rafters, just a green leaf gone to rot. Not curing into nothing worth nothing, just decaying on the spot. Till the night I hit my bottom in that barn, alone strung out. And something in that ruined holy place made me cry out. Tobacco barn testimony, where the leaf hangs up to die. That's the ground where I fell and died, and learn what it means to rise. A kernel's got to hit the dirt and die before it grows. Tobacco barn testimony, that's the barn where the new man rose. John 12:24, less a kernel of wheat falls into the ground and dies. It stays a single seed, incomplete. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. And I was the seed hanging in the rafters, refusing to fall, refusing to bleed into the ground and die to the man that I had been. But that night in the barn, I finally fell, I finally gave in. Hit my knees in the dirt floor where I wasted all those years. And I let the old man die right there, watered by my tears. And the strangest thing in barn, it ruined God-forsaken place where I done my worst, became the holiest kind of space. Cause the ground where the seed dies is the ground where it grows. And the barn where I was dying is the barn where new life grows. I go back there now, sometimes stand in the dust and the light through the slats. And I thank God for the barn and for the night that I finally fell to the dirt floor and let the old kernel die. Cause that's the only way the new crop ever reaches the sky. Everything green's got to fall in brown. Everything high's gotta hit the ground. The seed that won't die stays alone, but the seed that dies, it comes back grown. I died in that barn on the dirt and the dust and rose up new. Cause I finally trust what dies in the dark of the curing flow comes back as fruit forevermore. Tobacco barn testimony, where the leaf hangs up to die. That's the ground where I fell and died, and learn what it means to rise. A kernel's got to hit the dirt and die before it grows. Tobacco barn testimony, that's the barn where the new man rose. Tobacco barn, tobacco barn, tobacco barn. Knew every verse by heart, ran from everyone. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Knew every verse by heart. Yeah. Preacher's kid, front view. Knew the Bible cover to cover. Memorized the Romans road for I could ride without a spotter. Daddy in the pulpit, mama at the organ playing. Every Sunday, every Wednesday, every revival praying. And I knew it all, the doctrine, the theology, the creed. Could outquote the deacons, could recite the apostles' creed. But no one ain't believing in the knowledge made it worse, cause I rebel with a full awareness of the curse. Romans 7:15, I don't understand my own doing. The very thing I hate's the thing I chase toward my ruin. And the preacher's kid gone wrong's a special kind of loss, cause we sin in high definition, fully counting up the cost. We can't plead ignorance, can't say we never heard. We rebel against the very gospel we know word for word. And the shame's a different weight when you knew better all along. There's a unique kind of prison being a preacher's kid gone wrong. I knew the words but not the one.
Not the one.
I had the map but wouldn't walk. Ran from a father I could quote, deaf to the grace in my own talk. Preacher's kid gone wrong. Knew the gospel, ran from grace, sang every altar call song, and hid from my father's face. But the grace I grew up on was the grace that brought me home. Preacher's kid gone wrong. The father never left me alone. Yeah, here's the mercy in the story of a preacher's kid who fell. All that scripture that I ran with, all that gospel I could tell, was a seed that laid that dormant through the wild and in the wreckage. Every verse my daddy preached was a time-release message. And when I finally hit the bottom, when the running was done, all those verses came back roaring like a flood, like a gun. Went off in my memory, the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life. With my dying breath, I had the whole Romans road already loaded in my head, and it led me back to Jesus from the edge of being dead. Luke 15:31, son, you're always with me, and everything I have is yours. The Father's plea to the kid who stayed but straight in his heart, the one who knew, and the knowing that it damn me was the knowing that came through. Cause you can't know the gospel in the seed my daddy sold. Grew up through the concrete of a preacher's kid gone wrong's dark road. The words and found the one. Hey, had the map and finally walked. Ran back to a father I could quote, and heard the grace in my own talk. Preacher's kid gone wrong. Knew the gospel, ran from grace, sang every altar call song, then hid from my father's face. But the grace I grew up on was the grace that brought me home. Preacher's kid gone wrong. The father never left me alone.
Scripture came back.
What?
The seed my daddy planted.
I'm home, Dad. There's a cross on Highway 40, big and wide against the sky. Drove past it 1,000 times and laughed and wondered why. Till the day my whole life crumbled, and that cross was all I had. The cross on Highway 40. It was foolish till it saved a dying man. Hey! You know the ones, those giant crosses truckers use as markers. Concrete and steel 100 feet lit up against the darkness. And there's one on Highway 40 that I pass most every day. Commute to a job I hated and I scoff at it and say, look at these Bible Belt believers with their roadside superstition, building monuments to a fairy tale of Sunday morning fiction. 1 Corinthians 1:18, the message of the cross is foolishness to those who perish in a total loss. So sense to the ones still dying, and I was dying slow, scoffing at the very symbol that I needed most to know. Drove past it high, drove past it drunk, drove past it in my mess, flipping off the Prince of Peace and my self-destructiveness. Cause the cross looks like foolishness when you think you've got it handled, when you think you're the captain of a ship that ain't yet capsized or dismantled. But the day the ship goes down, the day the whole thing falls apart, that foolish roadside cross becomes the compass of your heart. There's a cross on Highway 40, big and wide against the sky. Drove past it 1,000 times and laughed and wondered why, till the day my whole life crumbled, and that cross was all I had. The cross till it saved the dying man. Everything, the job, the wife, the truck, sitting in a rental car on the shoulder, out of luck and out of road and out of life to tell myself in there, right through the windshield, 100 feet across against the air. The same one I mocked for years and I couldn't look away, cause the foolishness had finally become the only thing to say when you got nothing left, no pride, no plan, no leg to stand. That's when the power of God shows up in what looked bland and stupid and beneath you. 1 Corinthians, the rest to us who being saved is the power of God. The test of the cross ain't in the good times when you think you're doing fine. It's on the shoulder of Highway 40 when you cross the final line. And I got out of that rental, walked across the field to the base of that giant cross, and I finally kneel. The scoffer at the cross's foot, the mocker brought the tears, and the foolishness of the gospel washed away my wasted years. There's a cross on Highway 40, big and wide against the sky. Drove past it 1,000 times and left and wonder why, till the day my whole life crumbled and that cross was all I had. The cross on Highway 40, it was foolish till it saved a dying man. Kudzu and Grace both grow fast in the southern heat. One buried me alive and green, one raised me to my feet. Where the sin grew thick, as Kudzu, Grace grew thicker, Grace grew sweet. If you know the South, you know the Kudzu, that Japanese vine. They planted for erosion and it grew out of control, malign, swallowing whole hillsides, old forests, whole abandoned homes, covering everything green till the whole landscape's overgrown. Drive down any back road here and you'll see a shape in the vine, a ghost of a barn, a car, a house, all consumed over time by the Kudzu that just keeps growing a foot a day in July, covering up what used to be, blotting out the sky. And that's the perfect picture how my sin spread over me. Started small, just a little vine, just a habit, just a spree on the weekends. But it grew and it crept and it covered every part of who I was, till the original was smothered under green, undergrowth, under the creeping slow disaster of a life consumed by something that just kept on growing faster than I could cut it back. You ever try to kill some Kudzu? You can hack it, burn it, poison it, and still the vinyl outdo every effort. Coming back thicker, coming back next spring, and my addiction was the same, an unkillable green thing that covered up the house of who God made me to be, till you couldn't even see the structure, couldn't see to me. Under all that growth, all that green, all that wild overtaking, and I figured I was gone for good, just a Kudzu covered ruin, breaking down beneath the weight of the vine that wouldn't die, till I learned about a grace that grows faster, aims higher. Kudzu and Grace both grow fast in the southern heat. One buried me alive and green, one raised me to my feet. Where the sand grew thick, it's Kudzu, Grace grew thicker, Grace grew sweet. Romans 5:20, where sin sin increased, grace increased all the more. Now that's the verse that finally released me from the kudzu. Cause I always thought the growth of sin was the fastest thing there was, that nothing could move in and overtake it. But grace, it turns out, grows faster still. Grows a foot a day and then some. Grows against your will in the best way. Grows over the ruins that the sin left green. Grows over the covered house that's smothered in between. And here's the thing about grace that I learned the hard way: it don't just cut the kudzu back, it grows a brand new way. Over the same hillside, covering the cover, and the second growth is beautiful instead of strangling. That fulfills an oath. Joel 2:25. Vibrant pay the years, the locust safety is the kudzu cover. God said he'd renovate and regrow and restore, not just clear the vine away, but make the hillside greener in a good way. Come with me, and that's my testimony, standing here today alive, where the kudzu of my sin that left me buried. Grace revived the whole hillside of my heart, grew over all the ruin faster than the vine that killed me, made a new thing, a new tune. And now when I drive past the kudzu swallow in the south, I don't see just destruction, I see grace coming out, growing faster than the sin that swallowed all my years. Kudzu and grace grew thicker through the tears. Kudzu and grace wanna serve me. The vine that buried me alive, lost to the grace beneath, where the sin grew thick. Just kudzu, grace grew thicker, grace grew sweet. Grace grew sweet. Sunday clothes on a weekday, so dressed up pretty, rotten within. Press my shirt, but not in my heart. Whitewashed tomb full of sin. Man saw the suit, but God saw the truth. Saw the dead man's bones I'd hide. Sunday clothes on a weekday, so till grace made me new inside. Yeah, for years I had the Sunday act down to a science. Fresh shirt, shine shoes, big Bible, full compliance. Shook the preacher's hand, said blessed, sang the loudest in the pew. Taught a Sunday school class even. That's the part that's hard to view, cause Monday through Saturday I was a different kind of man. Drinking, cheating, lying, living any way I can. And Sunday roll around and I iron out the shirt and iron out my face and hide the weekday full of dirt. Matthew 23, Jesus called it whitewashed tombs, pretty on the outside but inside the dead man rooms, full of bones and rotten, everything you hide from view. And that was me exactly. Sunday pressed and Monday untrue. And the worst part wasn't even fooling all the folks at church. The worst part was I almost fooled myself, left in the lurch of believing that the costume was the character the whole Sunday clothes, convincing me I didn't have a weekday soul.
Sunday clothes
on a weekday, so
weekday,
dressed up pretty, rotten within.
Press my shirt,
but not my heart. Whitewashed tomb full of sin. Man saw the suit, but God saw the truth. Saw the dead man's bones I'd hide. Sunday clothes on a weekday, so till grace made me new inside. 1 Samuel 16:7. Man looks at the outside, but the Lord looks at the heart, and there's nowhere the heart can hide. And God had been looking in mine through every press shirt Sunday, seeing past the costume to the corpse I was on Monday. And And the mercy is he didn't expose me, didn't strike me in the pew. He just kept on looking at my heart till I couldn't stand to view myself. Cause when you notice somebody sees the actual you behind the Sunday clothes, it gets harder to keep fooling through. And one Sunday met him dressed up perfect as I ever was. I just broke, couldn't sing the words, couldn't fake it, because the gap between the shirt and the soul got too wide to cross. And I'd rather be honestly broke than dishonestly lost. So I went down to that altar in my pressed shirt, weeping, told the truth about the weekday soul I've been keeping. And God didn't want my Sunday clothes, he wanted the weekday me. And he washed the actual soul so the inside could finally be as clean as the shirt. And now I don't dress up for show, cause the God who sees the heart already cleaned the part below. The costume in my Monday finally matches up with my Sunday. The weekday soul got born again. No more whitewash, no more Sunday. Sunday clothes on a weekday, so that was me before the change. Now the inside matches the outside. Grace rearranged.
Man saw the suit,
but God saw the truth.
Then
he washed me deep
inside.
No more Sunday clothes on a
Weekday soul.
He made the whole man bona fide.
Monday matches Sunday now.
He cleaned a weekday soul.
Monday
No,
now.
one more hide.
Monday Sunday now.
The last house on the left behind, end of a dead-end road, where I hit the bottom of my life and sit down the whole load. But the last house I got left behind became the first step home. There's a house at the end of Sawmill Road, last one on the left. Little rental paint all peeling, where I ended up bereft of everything. The family gone, the money gone, the pride, just me and the mattress on the floor, and the emptiness inside. It was the kind of place you end up when you run out of places. The last stop on a dead-end road, the last of the last graces. And I moved in there at my lowest, figured it would be the last house I'd ever live in before they came and buried me. Cause a dead-end road feel final, feels like nowhere left to go. Feels like the story's over, feels like the closing show. And I spent my darkest months in that last house on the left, counting up my failures, feeling God had left me clear from every hope of something better. Till one gray afternoon, sitting on that bare mattress in that empty rainy room, I picked up the Gideon Bible somebody left behind, and it fell open to John 14, and the words rewired my mind. The last house on the left behind, end of a dead-end road, where I hit the bottom of my life and set down the whole load. But the last house I got left behind became the first step home. John 14:2, in my Father's house are many rooms, and I go to prepare a place for you. And through the gloom of that last house on the dead-end road, I saw it clear at last, that the house I was living in wasn't the future, wasn't the past. last, it was just a stop, a way station, the place where I would turn from the dead-end road I've been on to the road I had to learn. Cause here's what grace revealed to me on that bare mattress low. Every house I'd ever left behind, every place I let go, the bars of trap houses, the wreckage, the homes I torn apart were all just houses on the left behind the wreckage of my heart. But God had a house too, a father's house with room to spare, and a place prepared specifically for me already there. And the dead-end road I thought was final was actually a start of the road that led back home till the house got set apart. And the last house on the left, the bottom, the end of the line, became the first house on the journey home, the first good sign. Cause you can't start the road back home till you reach the actual end. Girl, the road you're on is killing you, that dead end is the bend where the story turns, where the prodigal decides to rise and leave the last house on the left and lift up his eyes. Come my father's house with the many rooms and the light in the window, and Luke 15:7, all of heaven throws a party, don't you know? Over one sinner coming home, so when I left that house of land, drove off that dead-end road of grace, the angels threw a blast. And I don't know where all my rows of wine before I'm through, but I know the final house ain't the last one on the left, it's the one that's new. Became the first step home. Every house I left behind was just a room I had to leave. Every dead end was a doorway I just had to learn to believe. Led somewhere to the Father's house, the one that's standing still, with a room he had prepared for me, a light up on the hill. And I'm driving toward it now, off the dead end, off the left, toward the house that grace prepared for a sin and so rebel. The last house on the left behind is behind me for good. I'm headed to the Father's house, finally understood. I left the last house on the left, and I'm almost home, almost home. I left the last house on the left.